Shalom. Call Aloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. I want to make a video concerning the so-called peace talks that are supposed to be happening. Currently, as of right now, the U.S. and Iran are still in Israel. They're still in this, once again, another so-called ceasefire. But you have rhetoric going back and forth. One side says something, the other side says something, the other side does this, the other side responds, and they're going back and forth. Point being, ain't no peace talks happening, ain't no agreement happening. This more than likely is going to lead up into World War III. And you have so many signs and so many different economists saying the same thing. As soon as this ceasefire started, not even 24 hours later, within 24 hours, Israel strikes Iran. So now Iran has to defend themselves. Then Israel says, okay, we'll back off. Iran goes, cool, we respect that. We'll open up the Strait of Hormuz. Then Trump puts a blockade on Iranian ports. Iran says, well, what the hell? You're doing that? Fine. We're going to close the strait back up. Then Trump has a ship that seizes. Meanwhile, he's saying talks are going great. We're close to a deal. Then we found out a few days ago that a U.S. ship blew a hole in an Iranian engine, the engine room of an Iranian ship, and then they seized the ship. So now Iran is like, look, negotiations off the table. So there ain't going to be no kind of peace talk, no kind of deal, no kind of agreement. And all of this lines up with prophecy. So let's check out this video. We'll maybe watch one more, and then we'll grab some precepts.
Iran says it will not go to peace talks in Pakistan as long as the US blockade of its ports remains in place. Those talks were meant to begin today, but over the weekend, US forces seized an Iranian-flagged cargo ship near the Strait of Hormuz. That seems to have derailed the process, and this morning the Foreign Ministry spokesperson claimed the US is not serious about pursuing the diplomatic process. American forces seized that Iranian ship after it defied repeated orders to turn around. President Trump posted, "The Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, US Marines have custody of the vessel." Hours earlier, Iran fired on 2 Indian ships, the captain of one ship sending this urgent radio message.
Sepa Navy, this is Motorang Hassan Marhedal. You gave me clearance to go. My name second on your list. You gave me clearance to go. You are firing now. Let me turn back.
President Trump still says a peace deal will get done. He told ABC's Jonathan Carr that it will happen one way or another. The nice way or the hard way, it's going to happen. You can quote me. He's hoping fiery rhetoric about a return to war will get Tehran back to the negotiation table.
Unfortunately, we'll have to start dropping bombs again.
The current ceasefire is set to expire Wednesday. The administration is renewing its threats to destroy bridges and power plants across Iran, which could be a violation of international law.
Yeah, you can't believe nothing coming out of Trump's mouth. How are you saying you're close to a deal, you're going to get a quote-unquote peace deal done, but then you say, unfortunately, we're going to start having to drop some bombs again, and we're going to blow up bridges and different power plants? What kind of peace talk is that? What kind of negotiations is that? Let's check out really quickly what the I think he's an Iranian foreign minister said. And Salakia, you're just going to have to read it. I do want to play it. If you can read it, great. If you can't, my bad once again. I'll read the caption. It says, Iran says it has no plans for another round of negotiations with the U.S.
خب ببینید اولا تا الان که من خدمتون هستم در مورد دور بعدی برای مذاکرات ما برنامه‌ای نداریم، تصمیمی در این خصوص اتخاذ نشد. بعد از اون که به هر ترتیبی بود در این خصوص تفاهمی حاصل شد ما مواجه شدیم با اقداماتشون در تنگه هرمز، اون چیزی که تحت عنوان محاصره دریایی اسم گذاشتند. همین ساعات اخیر شاهد بودید حمله به یک کشتی تجاری ایران صورت گرفت. اینها همش نقض صریح آتش بس تلقی میشه.
Yeah, so it was short, but he basically was just saying what the previous video said, what I summed up in the spirit, and I'm gonna throw that away. We're supposed to be in the so-called ceasefire, but then you put in a naval blockade on Iranian ports, on Iranian cargo ships, and then you shoot on one of their ships, blow up the engine room, and then you seize it. You board it and you seize it. What kind of negotiations is that? So Iran is not worried about no kind of peace talk. No peace is going to happen on this side until Yahweh Shai returns. So look forward to this war continuing to escalate. Look forward to more plagues and different signs and other strange wonders happening around the globe, and especially here in Babylon the Great. This is Jeremiah 28 verse 8, and I'm going to read it on the right in the NLT. It says, the ancient prophets who preceded you and me spoke against many nations, always warning of war, disaster, and disease. So this is what a prophet raised up by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is raised up to do. Prophesy against nations and warn and talk about war. Is not World War III on the horizon? Don't you hear certain men speaking on it? Warning of war, disaster, Jacob's trouble, and disease. Different plagues and pestilences. All these things are coming very, very soon, and they're already here, you can say. We're just in the beginning stages of all these things happening. The beginning of sorrows, beginning of war. You can't call this World War III yet, but this is the beginning stages. More than likely, this will lead up to it. It's no coincidence that all of a sudden now you have the automatic registration for the selective service is going to be enforced this upcoming December. Why would that be a law that they passed? Because they well understand that a larger war is coming and they're preparing for it. That's what you do. You foresee something and you put proactive plans in place. That's what it's for. And the Bible prophesies about that as well. So you need to make sure that you're listening to a group, men, whoever, who claim that they're prophets. You need to make sure you're listening to men that are prophesying about these things that the scriptures talked about. And that's why verse 9 says this. So a prophet who predicts peace must show he is right. Okay, so the Lord said he's going to raise up prophets to talk about war, disaster, and disease. So who are you? You're a prophet talking about peace? Okay, you got to show that you're right. Only when his predictions come true can we know that he is really from the Lord. And of course, that's on both sides. But now we have an idea. Now we know what a true prophet of the Lord will be speaking about. And I'm going to grab Jeremiah 23 as well. And I'm going to end off here because we're going to read a decent amount here. But this is the point. Jeremiah 23 verse 16. Once again in the NLT. This is what the Lord of Heaven's armies says to his people. Do not listen to these prophets when they prophesy to you, referring to these false prophets, filling you with futile hopes. Yeah, telling you what? Peace. Everything's going to be okay. There's no time of Jacob's trouble. They are making up everything they say. They do not speak for the Lord. They keep saying to those who despise my word, don't worry. The Lord says you will have peace. This is what false prophets say. And guess what? If you're not prophesying about Jacob's trouble, about World War III, about how hard of a time that's coming to this world, that also makes you a false prophet because you're not speaking on prophecies. That means you don't have the true testimony of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Proof that you have the testimony of the Lord is you speaking about things to come. Back in verse 17, it says, and to those who stubbornly follow their own desires, they say, no harm will come your way. Meaning everything is going to be all right. Because guess what? We still say to the hopeful elect that no harm will come your way. But we also let you know that a perilous time is coming to the world and to prepare yourselves spiritually for it. Have any of these prophets been in the Lord's presence to hear what he is really saying? Has even one of them cared enough to listen? Look, the Lord's anger bursts out like a storm, a whirlwind that swirls down on the heads of the wicked. The anger of the Lord will not diminish until it has finished all he has planned. In the days to come, you will understand all this very clearly. So everything written in the book will come to pass. Every little small thing. Plagues, pestilences, of course, wars, rumors of wars, a time of tribulation, people trying to go into a city, they're not being able to do so, not regarding their government, their kings, their princes, right? Taking up the sword, guns, going out here looting and rioting. The scriptures prophesy of all these things. And when it happens, it says, you'll understand very clearly. But for you, a hopeful elect, myself, we're supposed to understand these things right now and believe and know that it's coming. Once again, prepare ourselves properly. Verse 21, it says, I have not sent these prophets, yet they run around claiming to speak for me. I have given them no message, yet they go on prophesying. Yep, that's it. That's what I wanted to read down to. Let me see. That's it. That's the point right there. So just make sure, obviously, from the perspective of a prophet, make sure you're prophesying. Make sure you're speaking about things that are going to come to pass. Don't just talk about it when it gets here. That means you didn't prophesy. You're just stating things you see. And that's not what a prophet has been ordained to do. You read the scriptures, you measure the time, and you warn individuals. You warn the hopeful elect. And anybody else that's sincerely listening, your job is to pray to the Lord and make sure you understand you're listening to the right individual that's claiming to be a prophet. Are they showing you different videos, different articles? Are they lining up the times and giving you the proper warning? Are they telling you about what's to come? Because as we just showed you in the video earlier, in those two videos, Iran is saying, look, no more peace talks. We're done. We tried negotiating. They still got this naval blockade. They just blew a hole in the engine room of one of our ships, seized our ships. That's against the ceasefire rules. So no more peace talks. We're not negotiating. So look forward to this war continuing to escalate. Look forward to more things happening in Babylon the Great. We have to go through these times in order to make it to the kingdom, because that's what the Bible prophesied would happen. So don't think about it as a scary thing. Embrace it. Embrace prophecy and know, remember, and believe that the Lord is your God. So Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. Kol Haloyim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Shalom.